Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Uninformed Fan. It is a beautiful Friday over here. Yeah, you said rolling it. You should have had your breakfast earlier. Welcome, everybody. Welcome in.
Don't talk to me like that.
I'm talking to you right like that.
Don't talk to me like that. After the shit
Right
you pulled
like
yesterday, don't talk to me like that.
No shit was pulled yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. We can be assured of that. Jeffrey has his own implosions that he is going to like to talk about today. It was a good day for the boys. Had a little golf, little cervezas, good times. Jeff has the plain white T-shirt on today from Lululemon, apparently. But you know, when Jeff's in the plain white tee, that has been a very interesting night and morning. Jeff, how are we doing today?
I'm here. You know,
that's good. That's good.
I'm here. I'm happy for my Miami Hurricane fans who are my friends. And that's about it.
Well, yeah.
I still am gonna say that it's your fault for what happened yesterday.
Well, why don't you just go and get this off your chest here, and we'll let the thousands watching decide.
So I've never in my life.
Are you reading a script or something?
No,
is there?
I was doing something. You're welcome. By the way, don't like. Can you just let me live my fucking life?
I'm trying to, but you're making it very difficult.
Something that I've done to you personally that makes
you're about to make some serious accusations. Go ahead.
It's not an accusation. It is actually literally facts about what happened. Which is we played golf. I was playing great. I was 4 over through 12 holes. All right. All I got to do is just,
not implode.
Shoot 3 over in the last 6 holes. And we're okay.
Still a daunting task, but.
And you decide that I step up to the tee on a short par 4, and the first thing out of your mouth is you'd be really unfortunate if you bladed it into the water on the right and ruined your entire
round. That is not what I said at all.
What did you say then?
First of all, you were in the golf cart. You said, I've never broken 70 in my life. And what did I say to you right then and there?
And you said, and it's not going to happen today.
I said, so why are you speaking it out there? Why are you putting the extra pressure?
No. That's not what you said. You hated it so hard. You go, well, it ain't gonna happen today. It's never happened before. It definitely ain't happening today. That's exactly what you said.
You put the pressure on, and yes, you did walk up to a drivable par 4 for most.
That I've driven 15
with a driver, and when we're looking at playing golf and we're looking at pars, birdies, we're trying to avoid the big holes here, Jeffrey. We're trying to avoid the doubles, the triples, because that is how you don't break 80. So, yes, I said, are you sure you want to hit that driver in the drink to blow up your chance at breaking 80?
But you didn't have to say that. You could have just said, hey, you think maybe play it safe this hole or what? No, you had to say instead, you had to say, hey, let's just go ahead and just ruin our round today, huh?
Do you think Tiger Woods' caddy ever told him, hey, you probably shouldn't hit that? Yes. Yeah. That's what a good caddy and a good person does. Jeff, this is not your shot. There's no reason for you. There is no reason for you to try to hit the green on a par 4. You don't need it. Just put one out there.
Or
eliminate the hazards. Eliminate the hazards. Eliminate the big holes.
Personal record at all. You wanted to hate on me, and that's okay.
That's not true at all.
Because you were getting your ass kicked.
When how'd that turn out?
And then you pull your little shit. And
how did that turn out, Jeff? How did the ass kicking turn out?
I just think
for those of you who have seen the video, the TJs of the world, the Buff, the Scott Lagermatas, and all of the ones that have been blessed to be, touch my life in some fashion or form. We what we had here was we had an absolute replication of 18 at Bay Hill when one of our other friends was talking some smack. And I guaranteed a birdie on the 18th hole and delivered. Now, I did not guarantee a birdie on the 18th hole, this one. However, I did have a putt for birdie, and as we were both exiting the cart, I said, so this is for all the marbles, huh? I make this, I win. Just like hell. And then Jeffrey responded, "Not if I get up and down," to which I had a nice little chuckle under my breath, proceed to go out, drain the 15-footer to put just enormous pressure on him, to which he didn't even come close to the cup. But, some people are built for those moments, Jeff. It's okay. It's okay.
I choke on that fucking water. Sincerely.
Did you hit 2 or 3? You hit 3 balls in the water on that hole.
I hit 2 in the water.
You hit 2 drives in the water, and then you hit your second shot of the water, did you not?
And then I hit in the water on the next par 5, the short par 5.
Okay, man.
I had 170 on my second shot.
Accusations that I did not want to see you succeed is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. I wanted to try to take the pressure off of you.
Rooting against me.
Absolutely not. What do I have to gain by that, Jeff? Exactly. This is your own inner demons coming out.
You have to gain.
I tried to give you sound advice. Jeff, there's no reason. You have a great round going. You're trying to set an all-time record. There's no reason for you to risk putting it in with the driver.
Let's talk about another swift kick in the dick, as my favorite play yesterday was under 25.5 first half in Miami and Ole Miss. And let me tell you something. Another instance where the round starts off great. You're talking about under 25.5. It's 3-0 at the end of the first quarter. I'm skipping through kiddies. Literally, I was skipping to the bathroom. And people are like, "What's going on, Jeff?" I go, under 25.5 first half. Easiest play in the world. I walk out of the bathroom. Ole Miss has just rushed for a 75-yard touchdown. And then all hell broke loose.
Yeah, that's why there's 2 quarters, and that's why there's 2 sides to the golf course as well, front 9 and a back 9, because there's different variables that happen there. Yeah, Miami does get it done though, 31-27. The number 10 Miami was actually on the outside looking into the playoffs. A team that the majority of people, not majority, I don't know, people said that shouldn't even be in the playoffs over Notre Dame, is going to the national championship and heading home. First of all, I want to say congratulations, Miami. Hate you. There's nothing worse that I feel like is in college football than Miami being back. No, I just don't. I'm not here for that. But I do want to say one thing about Ole Miss, and shout out to the Ole Miss team and those kids that continue to play throughout all the adversity and the things that happened over there. And then I'm going to give another unpopular opinion as Jeffrey finishes his Lucky Charms. That we're going to stop the Lane Kiffin hate.
Lucky Charms?
I don't know.
They're Frosted Flakes, bro.
It's 12:10, and we're eating Frosted Flakes. Gee, Christmas.
What?
Shambles.
I'm sorry. So now we're shaming people for nutrition? Unbelievable.
Shambles. Absolute shambles.
You got to be a communist,
Shambles. We're going to stop the Lane Kiffin hate here. I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing that he just did it to those kids. The only disservice done to the kids is the NCAA and your stupid ass calendar, because at the end of the day, it is all jacked up. There should be no reason that a coach can't stay with his team and then take another job. It's completely irrelevant. The majority of people, you were in a job and got offered a job where you're making double, triple, whatever the heck more money it is, better opportunity, better quality of life, better chance for you to succeed, you would have jumped on it immediately. So let's stop the Lane Kiffin hate. Is he a goofball? Absolutely. Has he had one success in program? Absolutely. Should he be the darling child of the college football? I don't know. Not for me to decide. But let's stop hating on him, saying that he quit on his kids. Those kids could have went to the national championship if he was still there, or he did a disservice by not letting all the coaches back. It's just the way the calendar works out. If you want to blame somebody, blame the NCAA, blame the system that you've been continuing to blame since the start of this, why the kids weren't getting paid, the system's taking the money. Blame the system. Bottom line, Miami is heading home for the national championship. Jeff, any quick recaps or thoughts on the end of this game and how it unfolded?
I mean, I have a lot of thoughts on it, but
let's hear it, buddy.
I want to say too, with the Lane Kiffin thing, that was Ole Miss forcing that hand, right? Ole Miss could have delayed this decision. Lane Kiffin could be going to the NFL. He could have still been coaching them, but Ole Miss made him make a decision because of National Signing Day, because of the parameters that college football is set for. So I don't really blame Lane at all, except for the fact that, he wanted to go to a better job. It is what it is. In terms of the game, I thought the game was fantastic. I thought it was wildly entertaining. Missed field goals from both sides. Both teams moved the ball. What we said, though, at the end of the day is that we thought that, Miami can stop Ole Miss and Ole Miss cannot stop Miami. And I felt like that's kind of what came to fruition here. And then, Carson Beck gets the run-in touchdown with 20 seconds left to really put it out of reach.
Nobody there.
And then Ole Miss gets the ball back and actually comes down and gets a couple plays and has a shot to score a touchdown in the game. So
Two plays, 50 yards.
Phenomenal football. I thought Chambliss was great. He's coming back to school for another year. Is that correct?
He's waiting on an eligibility variance, whatever you want to
Which
call
is
it.
wild that we're doing this eligibility thing when you have guys who have literally played in the NBA who are going back and playing in college now.
Now, before we get on, I don't want to get too, but I did see something about Ben Simmons heading back. Is that real? Or is that a troll? Okay.
No, I don't think so. But there are guys who, there's a Baylor has a kid who I think literally played for the Bulls for 7 games in the NBA and was bouncing back and forth between the G League on a 10-day contracts or whatever, and is now going back to college and playing for Baylor. So,
and I think University of Florida was on that guy as well.
Yeah, they're going to G League, shit, bro. It's stupid.
Dude, we got some serious issues in college sports, man. In sports in general now. I mean, like you said, but on the same token, they're sitting there in the G League playing for what, $10,000 a month, maybe, if that. And then they're going to go get $1 million to go back to college as a grown ass man against a bunch of kids.
Yeah,
it is what it is. Oregon and Indiana tonight, Jeffrey. This line has moved up to 3.5 now of Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you this. I think that whoever wins this game is winning the national championship. I as much as I think Miami has looked good at times, to your point, Ole Miss exposed them to certain things. Not just the 50 yards down the field. We all know what that is. That's prevent defense, which prevents nothing. However, I feel like Ole Miss, outside of the big run, there was a lot of open plays, and I feel like a more honed-in offense will take care of that. A better coaching staff will take care of that. Not that Charlie Weiss didn't have a good game plan, but we all know what was happening over there. I feel like whoever wins this one, Oregon, Indiana, which I do think Indiana will win, I think that they win the national championship.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens in this game. I've thought that Indiana was the better team for a long time, but now, going back and forth, the 3.5 just seems like I don't really love it. I think Oregon's kind of playing with house money here, so I'm not really sure.
Jeremy, I would agree with that. And yeah, looks like 7-Eleven sunglasses too.
Yeah,
I would agree with you, but I've been on that Indiana slight or hate for a while now, and they proved me wrong every single time. I just feel like this is just one that's destined. I feel like they're destined to go undefeated. I feel like they're destined. Who knows what happens next year? I know there's a lot of people talking about Kurt Netty on their top list for NFL coaching jobs now. I don't know how that would translate, but there's no denying what he's done at Indiana. And like you said before, I do believe on the last show, without 4 or 5 star, without the blue chip players, he's getting done with average recruits that are just bought in.
They're now getting them in the transfer portal. They're getting those kids that they wouldn't have gotten before. Mark Cuban has stepped in for their NIL collective. That's been a big driving force with them as well, too. If I'm Signetti, though, they've locked up his coordinators for, I think, the next 4 or 5 years. Why go? Why go to the NFL? I understand there's only 30-something jobs. I just, in his specific instance, being at Indiana and everything like that, and the lore that he's going to be able to have, I don't know. I think I would stay.
Well, I think it just goes back to what you just said, the transfer portal, and just the way that college football is right now, man. It is 365 days a year. It is nonstop recruitment. And I don't know, maybe he enjoys it. I don't know. But to me, nah, dude, it just depends on exactly. Just depends on exactly, what you're looking for out of life. At least in the NFL, you have a general manager that you work with that once you solidify your team, you've solidified your team. It's not, I just cannot stand this 1-year contract bullshit where I have to go in and try to rebuild my team every year. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's going to be a great game tonight. I think it would set up really cool too, the Oregon and Miami narrative as well. With Cristobal leaving Oregon and Dan Lanning taking over, and obviously Oregon going to play, in Miami. The pressure Miami's going to have to face. Miami lost some guys last night as well too. They had some injuries on that D line in the secondary. Will those guys be able to recover and be back in time? I don't know. And so, yeah, I mean, that'd be rough. I don't know what it would be like to lose a championship in my home stadium as a Bucks fan. So I don't know. It'd be very interesting.
I like how you slid that in there.
Let's move on to NFL.
The 3 times on the struggle bus over there. Holy
He
moly.
is. Put the sunglasses back on, Jay.
He's over there like moving and wiggling in areas.
My man is asleep. I mean, which is crazy, right? Like we were both together, it was tit for tat the entire night.
Thought that was gonna go a different way. What's up, Buff? Welcome in, bud.
What did you think it was gonna go?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I was leaving.
Jack should rebrand to the Cheetahs.
Interesting take from FNB Prime.
Can we get the punchline, please?
I'm sure it's
coming. There's got to be a punchline.
Well, let's get into it. NFL playoffs are here. It is that time of the year. Bears Packers round 3.
Good title though, Jay. By the way, who's your daddy's?
I did see that. Yeah, that was pretty good. Bears Packers are here. First of all, just a few things off the top. I'm so sick of hearing about the Williams and the 4,000-yard passing. Bears fans could give 2 shits, dude. Like, we have the number 1 run game. We don't care. We just want to win games. I don't know why everybody is so hung up on this.
Did he get 4,000 yards?
Nah, it was like 130 short.
He only threw for 130 yards last week?
No, he needed like 270 to break the record.
Correct. He ended up like for 100. What did he throw for?
I don't know. It was obviously less than what he needed.
How do you not know?
I don't care. That's the whole point, Jeff.
You do
they
care.
lost
the football game. You brought up though. You're the first thing you brought up.
I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing about it. He threw for 212 yards.
It's the first thing you brought up.
Because I'm tired of hearing about it. He threw for 212 yards.
Wow. So he was only 58 yards short, huh?
Yeah. But again,
that hurts.
We don't care. Let me just preface this, guys. Here we go. Yeah, Chad. This is what I'm getting at. A lot of money has definitely come in on Green Bay. I didn't like the matchup to begin with. And here's exactly why I feel like that this game is going to be such a nut shot for the Chicago Bears. Going into the season, do we expect to win the NFC North? Absolutely not. Did we win the NFC North? Absolutely. Did we expect to have 11 wins this year? Absolutely not. Do we have 11 wins? Absolutely. Did we expect to make the playoffs? Absolutely not. Are we in the playoffs? Absolutely. Did we expect to win a first-round playoff game? No, we did not. But who are we playing? We're playing the Green Bay Packers.
Your daddy.
Stop. I'm going to buy you a Saints t-shirt. Fuck it. 8 and 10 record, whatever the hell it is. Here's the problem.
It doesn't change the fact that Green Bay has held over you for the entirety of your existence.
It hasn't been the entirety of my existence, Jeff. Okay? So just
of your human existence.
Stay in your lane. Keep trying to break 80.
Your own existence.
Your pie hole.
Your own existence.
Kind of like 80 and the golf courses for you. 79. 6-7.
Unattainable.
Anyway, let's get back to it. Let's get back to brass tacks here. If the Chicago Bears lose to the Green Bay Packers,
I'm a Bucks fan, bro.
The entire season is a loss.
The entire season's a loss if you lose?
Absolutely. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Jeremy, you can attest with this with just a head nod. During our bad years.
Oh, congrats on the win.
We have one game towards the end of the season that if we are having a terrible year and we beat the Green Bay Packers, we were okay with it. It was okay. We beat the Green Bay
It's a loser mentality.
Jeff, so is you on the golf course. Let's move on. How, if the Green Bay Packers knock us out of the playoffs that we weren't supposed to be there, it is a failed season. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You cannot lose to the Packers. If it was anybody else, any other team, if it was the Carolina Panthers, it still would have been a successful season.
Right, put some respect in the NFC South.
Cannot poverty division. You cannot lose to the Green Bay Packers, and I have a feeling that it's coming anyway. I will tell you this: some good news and some bad news. CJ Gardner-Johnson is out for this game.
Is that good news or bad news?
Well, I mean, we need some depth. Kyler Gordon off the IR, questionable, but looks to be playing. That's good, but who knows how long he's in? He had one play, 2 plays, and he was out for 5 more games. And then Braxton Jones looks like he'll be back as well. I don't even know if that's good. And then on the Packers side, they have a few questionables, but nobody of significant importance. It looks like they are going to be relatively healthy. I just don't like it. I do know this. I knew the Chicago Bears fans are going to come out. I know that home field is going to be absolutely rocking. It just sucks to say, man. It just sucks to say that if they lose to the Green Bay Packers, this will feel like a loss of a season.
Yeah, I completely disagree with you. But FSU do not like winning. Oh, God.
He has to come over and talk to me about a poverty organization. Yeah.
Do me a favor, brother. Suck my dick from the back, buddy. Do you think that the Bucks are do you think the NFC South is the worst division in football?
One of them.
I had this argument in a group chat the other day. That's the only reason I bring it up is because we were talking about it, and I think it's the NFC East personally. If you look at head-to-head, if you look at first of all, NFC South has more wins. I think NFC South has way more quality wins as well too. So everybody dogs the NFC South, but I think as a division, it's actually better than some of the other ones. AFC North as well too, as well as the NFC East. But
we can look at this. So you said that you thought the NFC East. The only thing that I would battle against you with, at least the NFC has the Eagles, who is a dominant team, right? Or at least on paper. And also,
we're talking about totality of division, right? And what I'll say is that if you look at it, right? Okay, the Bucks lost to the Eagles, right? 28-20. Obviously, Philly didn't complete a pass the entire second half. That game was weird, penalties, turnovers, block punts, a whole bunch of stuff. Other than that, right? Falcons beat the Commanders. Panthers beat who's the other one? Cowboys, and then you had the Saints beat the New York Giants. So you have head-to-head, you have more wins as well too. And I think you have more quality wins as well. When you look at, the Panthers who beat the Rams, who went in and beat Green Bay in Green Bay. Tampa at the beginning of the year had a bunch of big wins against good quality football teams, the Texans included, a bunch of playoff teams. So for me, we were arguing back and forth about this. I just feel like the NFC South is not as bad as people want to make it out to be. But
I don't think it's, I don't think I'll take the crown of the NFC least, as we call that, for so many years.
For sure.
I will say the Commanders are kind of a one-off. Jaden Daniels was pretty much out the entire year.
We're talking about this year. I'm not talking about like in totality of like the history of football. Right? Like,
I mean, but there was also a stretch there with the Dallas Cowboys. Nobody wanted to play them, but there was also a stretch where, the beginning of the year, nobody wanted to play the Bucks. So
I think the Cowboys are going to be interesting next year, personally. I think if like, because what they did up front to like, kind of solidify that front line right there, and we're so much better against the run. Second half of the year after they got Quentin Williams back, they can just shore up the secondary a little bit. Make sure to keep Dak upright, re-sign Pickens. I think the sky's the limit for Dallas, personally.
Yeah, and Chad, I agree with the AFC East can have an argument is very top heavy, and even the Bills, right? I mean, and down here, Jeff, I don't know, but we don't like Josh Allen this year. And again, I mean, what have Jeff said it on the last show? What have the Bills done to help Josh Allen? Give me a number one receiver on the Buffalo Bills. You just signed Brandon Cooks.
This game specifically as well too, they have against Jacksonville coming up this week. I just think it's a bad matchup for them, right? Like, first of all, is there anybody who has more pressure on them? The two teams that probably have the most pressure on them are the Eagles, right, and the Bills. You would say going into this week, like the Eagles, if they lose week 1 to a absolute depleted 49ers team, then that's egregious. You could see Sirianni's head roll there, right? Same thing with Buffalo. Like if Buffalo goes in and they lose to Jacksonville. And it might not look pretty just considering how good Jacksonville's been lately, how well they've been humming, the way that Trevor Lawrence has played since he got Jacoby Myers. I don't know if I see a path for it.
Can I present a conundrum for you here for the Jacksonville Jaguars? If the Jacksonville Jaguars were called the San Francisco 49ers, they'd be the favorite to win the Super Bowl right now.
Absolutely.
And I think that is a role that the Jacksonville Jaguars are embracing wholeheartedly. I fully expect the Jacksonville Jaguars to dismantle the Buffalo Bills, not beat them, dismantle them.
Yeah, I think they might beat the shit out of them. They might run the ball down their throat all over them. Then Buffalo secondary starts creeping up. Now Trevor Lawrence opens it up. Now you got Brian Thomas Jr. You have Strange. You have Parker Washington. You have Jacoby Myers, who we mentioned before. It might get ugly. It might, for sure.
And I hope it does. And it's not necessarily the fact that I think that, I'm against Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen's probably the best quarterback in the league at this moment. And yes, I would take him over Mahomes at this moment. I know how crazy that sounds, but it is what it is. It is at the moment. And I think Josh Allen is just dropping dimes and doing things that we've seen in the past from other quarterbacks. And I think he's the best. But the Buffalo Bills have done him an absolute disservice in his prime. Now, I don't know if it's contractual obligations. I don't know if it's salary cap. But the defense has been absolutely garbage against the run. The passing game has been okay, but garbage against the run. And again, I ask this again, who is his number one receiver? Who is he throwing the ball to?
Well, yeah, and I was going to mention this with Jacksonville is that if you look at what they did since Trent Baalke left, right, I think they've been really good in terms of like personnel moves that they did. Obviously, hiring Liam Cohen was great as well, too. But if you look at it, right, going and getting Jacoby Myers, trading for Newsome from Cleveland, which was a huge pickup as well, too, which has really solidified the defense. They've built through the line. They've built through the draft. I just think they've done a great job. And I thought their in-season moves were really shrewd. Whereas opposed to, if you look at Buffalo, we talked about before the season even started that the Bosa pickup seems great on paper. It's something that you sell to your fans. But in all actuality, what does it actually do for you as a football team? So to me, I think, listen, if Buffalo loses this game, I think GM goes. And I think you have to let go of McDermott as well, too, because he's not got it done. So
I would agree definitely with the GM, but I'm going to give the same question that I gave in regards to the number one receiver. What is the general manager? I don't know how much control he has, but what is the general manager giving him to be able to work with?
Right. And even like in season moves, right? Like, okay, like let's go out and get Gabe Davis to bring him back to pair him with Josh Allen because they had a rapport years ago. Brandon Cooks is available. Let's go see if we can get a speed guy to run down the field. It just seems very not not cohesive. It's just like, let's just pick a bunch of shit and throw it against the wall and see if it works together. I just don't think it is.
I think you said it before. They're just putting pieces in there, hoping it sticks. I mean, no disrespect to Khalil Shakir, but he's your number one receiver. I haven't followed him for very much. Why would I? But at the end of the day, from my understanding, he's like the streaky receiver, right? He's the one that's like super fast that you're going to try to run on a man coverage crossing routes to try to, drop the DB or whoever's guarding. I just don't see it. You got Khalil Shakir, Brandon Cooks, and Josh Palmer back there, and Keon Coleman. I mean, I don't know. I mean, outside of Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox, who are probably actually his number one receiver, is a James Cook out of the backfield. I don't see it.
I also think it'll be interesting too to see how Buffalo starts this game. A lot of times they start. They've started kind of slow.
Very bad. Very bad. That was the bet cheat strategy. Wait for them to get down by 2 touchdowns.
Right. Exactly. And so, like, where does this first half kind of play out? I just don't think that Jacksonville is that team that you're going to be able to come back against like that. because of the pass rush, because of the secondary, and because of how good they are top to bottom. So,
I want to touch on this one, the trivia time. How many different wide receivers did TB12 have in New England? He had a bunch, but he also had a staple in Julian Edelman there the entire time. He also stapled in Rob Gronkowski there. And let's not forget, he also had Randy Moss in there for quite a while. Like, yeah, I mean, these are Rob Gronkowski's a Hall of Fame tight end. Julian Edelman is probably one of the more reasons of anybody in there. Don't forget, he also had Wes Walker in there for a long time. I mean, right. While he did have a revolving door at that other, he had staples that he had rapport with. So it wasn't like, just an receiving core every year. He had staples. Also,
can we be honest? We all have a type, right? We all have a type. We have something that we like, something that gets us there, something that we like, whether it be hair, pigment, height, qualities, whatever it is. Tom Brady had a type, right? Was what it was. Now, we can say, what's Josh Allen's type? It seemed to be Stephon Diggs for a while. And so do you try to get guys in that mold, but as opposed to just getting a whole bunch of different types and seeing if maybe he likes something, and seeing what sticks. That's my thing.
Vaccinator, I appreciate it. Yeah. Me and Jeff definitely openly gay couple here.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. God bless you as well. And have a blessed day. Blessed.
Vaccinator 1 coming up from left field. Well played, sir. Well played. Love it. Love it.
You don't even know about the three-way here with the 3-time in the background, do you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Giggity, shit gets funky on the golf course.
Yeah, he's the Diddy, and me and him, and me and you are Cassie and the he's just in the back, just watching, just pulling strings. I
was paid $200 to show up here. Who's Archibald?
Can we say this too? We talked about this yesterday. They should not let Diddy out. I don't care what happened. They need to recharge him with something. That man should not be let out of jail.
Yeah, it's wild. Again, I haven't got to the 4th episode, so let's roll.
What was his type, Justice? Who? Tom? Tom liked him,
Tom definitely had. I think definitely Tom.
Little petite white boys,
Yeah, I think so. Let's get this. Vaccinator, thank you so much for driving us completely off the rails here. That was absolutely gold. And you know what the great thing about this, Vaccinator, is some people would have been be like, you know what, ban this guy, or made some vulgar comment about from the back, as Jeffrey actually, did it earlier. Maybe that's where this comment came from. But, here at the Uninformed Fan, we are a man of the people, and we embrace everyone. So thank you for the comment. Thank you very much. Let's get back into it, Jeff. Rams, Panthers. The line has moved to 10.5. We have been all over the Panthers the entire time.
Yeah.
I think it's time just to, lock in the 10.5. Let's do it right now.
Plus 10.5.
Let's remove the each game to be, before I do it, on the Hard Rock, we do have some special wild card specials. Each game to be decided by 6 points or less, plus 10,000. Jeffrey, I tried to put $100 on it. What do you think happened?
Won't let you. It's going to cap you at $25.
$37.50.
Well, that's not bad. So the one that we took as well too, that we've all taken, is each team to have 1 rushing touchdown. That's an interesting question. Each team to have 1 rushing touchdown. It was plus 10,000. Our group is, I don't know if our group has moved the line, but it's gone down to plus 7,500 now. But you
I would
can still
honestly say that anytime that we talk about lines on the show, I do notice the lines move immediately afterwards. So apparently we do have this. Yeah.
Thunderstorms and 40-mile-an-hour winds. Wow.
Probably not. I mean, let's be honest. The Chicago coaching tree is just, I don't know. But Josh Allen wasn't good when he first came in the league either, my friend. He'd probably, this is what would have been happen. He'd probably be on another team right now being good after he got out of Chicago. So, yeah. He would be relevant just with a different team. That's how the Chicago Bears work. Unfortunately for Caleb Williams, we got Matt Eberflus fired, who also got fired in Dallas, by the way. What a fall from grace that guy has had. Holy moly. On the Indianapolis Colts, absolutely thriving with just one of the best, as Jeffrey said, one of the best defensively constructed rosters that there is. Gets a head coaching gig, has some a little bit of success then falls flat on his face, goes back, gets a defensive coordinator, and now he's just out. Wow. What a fall from grace. Jeffrey, 10.5 is definitely the play here. We're going to lock that in for 1 unit right now. Let me ask you this question. Do we sprinkle a little on the money line?
I don't mind it. What's the price on the money line right now?
Plus 425.
I mean, let's think about it, right? Have we seen these teams play before? Yeah.
We have.
Have we seen these teams play in Carolina before? Yeah. What happened? The Panthers won.
That's why it seems to me like it could be Rams by 40 this time.
I don't think so. Like Chad said, weather's going to play a major factor here. You're going to have winds. You're going to have rain. It's going to be tough to catch the football. Luckily for Carolina, they're a running team. I mean, the Rams are as well too. So I think a lot of ground and pound here. I don't see a high scoring game. And if it's not going to be a high scoring game, and you don't think one team's going to run away with it, then yeah, give me the 10.5 all day. Also, you never know what's going to happen with weather. With the, listen, we're using a weirdly shaped ball that bounces weird ways sometimes that you can't predict, and there's luck. So there's luck that's going to be a factor here as well too. Obviously first home playoff game for Carolina in quite a few years. I guarantee you, even though it's raining, that place is going to be rocking. So I like Carolina in this spot.
Another game that's starting to catch our attention, we talked a little bit about it last week, is the Eagles 49ers, and that line has moved to 5.5. When we were looking at 3.5, we both like the Eagles if we could somehow get it to 3. It has definitely gone the other way, and the money has poured in at 5.5. If you're laughing about the get out of here, Jeff. We'll get to it in a second. We'll get to it in a second. Eagles 5.5 here, Jeffrey. I think I'm starting to lean more towards the 49ers here.
49ers are super banged up. Also, do you see this crazy story with the 49ers about why they have so many energies? That was really punny intended right there. The reason they have so many injuries is because they're next to a power plant. And supposedly the electricity somehow, there's this story that was put out by this doctor saying that basically because they practice next to this thing, that it actually affects ligaments and joints and different stuff like that. So interesting.
And the stadium's next to it as well.
They're really banged up. Trent Williams might not play. They're down to like their 4th-string linebacker. Tatum Bethune's out for the year after filling in for Fred Warner. I'm going to say this. They're so banged up on offense. I think Shanahan will still be able to move the ball against this Eagles secondary. I've said all year, I think that's the one spot that you can really attack Philly is in the secondary. I think they will try to. They have enough weapons with Kittle, with McCaffrey, with Jennings, with all these guys that I think they're going to be able to move the ball. And I think 44.5 is a little bit too low. I'm going to be taking the over here.
44.5 it is. I think I'm just going to stick away from this game. I think we'll see what kind of mood I'm in anyway. It'll obviously depend on how the Bills-Jags game goes. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, I don't love either side here. And so, like, if I'm going to force a play in, I'll force a play in and take the over. That's fun.
I like it. Moving on. Chargers, Patriots. Jeff, I just locked in my Chargers plus 3.5.
Good. Give me the Chargers outright. Money line plus 3.5. There's a bunch of stats that kind of back this up as well too. That teams that hadn't made the playoffs the year before coming in typically don't perform very well in their very first game. So there's a lot of things that go on here. I think the pressure is going to be pretty. What?
Chad, I need to have a little bit of faith here until that. Okay. I just need you to have a little bit of faith.
In what?
Well, he's saying that we can fade the Eagles next week as -3 home faves.
Yeah, he said the Eagles are going to blow out, or not blow out, but he said they'll cover the 3.5 or whatever, 5.5, whatever it is.
Well, if they have a home game, Jeffrey, what does that mean? Exactly. Can I keep the faith for one more day, please? I don't need stats. I don't need realistic things. I just need to keep the faith for one more day, and then we can move on. All right? Thanks, everybody. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
I don't boy.
Proto plays. We talked about this. We think Jags and possibly Jags by a million. Go ahead.
I don't know where you came from, but I love you. The fact that you're trashing sexy Rexy Grossman right now. on this podcast is phenomenal, and I want you to continue to do it. You're obviously a Bears fan, or a Chicago whatever, which is great, awesome. I do think Ben Johnson should be considered for Coach of the Year. 100% agree with you with that as well too. Well,
I would also go ahead. First of all, we'll never know. Okay.
I would like to speculate.
How about this? Haddon boy? See, like he said, you are a Bears fan. I have Desmond Clark as my neighbor, who was the tight end for that Bears team that went to the Super Bowl. Okay,
we should get him on the pod.
That played with Sexy Rexy. I will ask him for you this week, and I will get back to you. Okay. As far as this goes, because I think that there's obviously other coaches that we need to talk about. First of all, Liam Cohen. I mean, what a turnaround in Jacksonville that has been. And honestly, Shanahan, I'll give him that. The 49ers as well. Look at this guy, man. He's still, look at the record and look at has he even had a full team since week 1, or did he even have a full team week 1? The amount of injuries that they have overcome and still be into this playoffs with that record, I think that you can't overlook that as well.
Ever since Ricky Pearsall got Thug Life tatted on his stomach.
He did not.
Oh.
You got to get off those websites, bro.
They pop up all the time.
Well, that's because if you click on other websites. You have to just stop.
That and CMOS gummies telling me that I can get a bigger dick. It's wild.
Plus 160 on I get Hard Rock has it at 165 actually on this. And I think honestly, this Sunday night game, I think that you could probably wait a little bit longer. A lot of money is going to come in on the Patriots late, and you're probably going to be able to get a better money line on. So I'm going to go ahead and 1 unit Chargers plus 3.5. And then I'm looking for a little sprinkle on the money line as it gets closer to about 175, 180.
Yeah, I don't mind that. It's weird. Yeah. No, definitely Chargers. Love it. Rookies for first starts as quarterbacks in the playoffs. Not great. We're fading Drake May this week, boys.
Yeah.
Grab your ankles. Let's go.
Yep. I agree. And lastly, we have the Texans Steelers. If you were watching the show a couple weeks ago, I'd said jump on the Texans minus 130 to win this game. Looks like a little bit of money has come in on the Steelers here. That line has moved to, was it always 3 or is it 3.5?
Yeah, Chad, we got to talk about it, bro. We got to talk about this, Chad, because you put out 3 units on the Texans. And I said, I don't know what's going on. I got a weird feeling that the Steelers are the side here. And
first of all, Chad, this is the podcast here. We don't give sound betting advice.
Sure. Yeah, we're like, you know what I love this week is the plus 10,000 on Hard Rock. that's exactly where we need to invest our money. Is the thing? Yeah, the Steelers are 24-1 on Monday Night Football. I think there's so I don't know. It's like a Tomlin spot. Like, I don't see a lot of points being scored here at all.
First of all, Chad, you told me that the Texans were the play last week as well. You confirmed my degeneracy. Are you walking back on this now? Are you walking back on me? Because I still feel like this.
He started to walk back last week or on Monday when we were talking about it. He started to walk back.
He's going against the trends. I will tell you this. The money line was minus 175, and it was for almost a week. Now it is down to minus 160.
Fair enough.
So it looks like there's definitely been some money coming in. DK coming back. Obviously, that's going to help out the Steelers in their offense.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
Take him away. So
yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that Texans front line is going to wreak havoc on Aaron Rodgers. They are going to eat him up. All they got to do is guard against the short passes. You know, Washington being out with the broken arm. You know, you no longer have your Mack truck out there catching footballs and running people over. Yeah, I see it, Jeff.
You're going to park that big Mack truck right in the garage?
Here's the thing that I find absolutely hilarious about my friend Jeffrey here. My good friend Jeffrey, by the way. If you missed the morning of the show, you know, he was talking about how I wanted nothing less than to see him not break 80. And literally every time that somebody comes in here and makes a comment about the Bears being bad or the Rex Grossmans or this, he is just piling on and saying great comments. Great. You just don't want to see success and happiness with your friends. I'm the other way. I'm the caddy out here trying to read you the line of the putt to give you the keys to the kingdom. And you are just negative.
Dude, we're sitting there yesterday and I'm hyping up all the Miami fans during the game. And I'm all over on the side live betting Ole Miss.
Get him to move the lines. I'm with Chad. I don't know if you are as well, but I'm still in on Texans. I have 3 units on Texas this week, and I
did cash out my Ole Miss bet though. Jeremy did not. It's unfortunate.
It was also unfortunate last Sunday when I had the Bears -2.5, and then I also took the Cincinnati Bengals live, and I could have cashed them both out for a small profit, but I said I ain't no bitch, and proceeded to lose all of them.
DeAndre Swift, 100 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. What does that pay?
I don't know. That is a good point, Adam. You know, that has got to be the Bears' game plan, because the bend don't break defense absolutely is atrocious. They're giving up 7 to 9 minute drives. That is not a key to success in this game. You have to keep the ball away from them. So if you are going to do that, you definitely need to ball down their throats. The 2-headed monster of Monangai and Swift. Let the O-line do what they did against the Philadelphia Eagles. You cannot tell me that the Green Bay Packers defensive line is better than the Philadelphia Eagles, who they absolutely manhandled. Stick to the game. Don't get cute. We don't need all of this other stuff. Rome Odunze is back. I will say that. Shout out to Rome Odunze. And, you know, just real quick before I move on, Jeffrey, I have a little tidbit. You know, we talked about Colston Loveland versus Tyler Warren. At the beginning of the season and even halfway through the season, you would have said, hey, Tyler Warren was the clear cut tight end number 1. They should have taken him, blah, 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 blah. Now, obviously, with Danny Dimes going down, the numbers can't really stack up 100% in my opinion. But Colston Loveland overtook him in yards and touchdowns by the end of the year. And this was one of the ones that we talked about. We thought that, you know, Colston Loveland was going to be involved, but it was going to be later in the season, and there it is. Yeah, I agree, man. I think Monangai, they need to just run the ball, man. I just don't understand it. Sometimes they get just way too cute in their bag. I don't care if I run the first 9 plays, all runs, and then watch what happens to that play action. Just run it.
So DeAndre Swift has scored 2 touchdowns and over 100 yards is plus 1536 on Hard Rock Bet. That's just as a heads up.
I like it. I like it, Jeff.
Yes, we are absolutely allowed to change our takes, which you should on the Texans.
I never said Bears are bad. I didn't say you said the Bears were bad. Yeah, Chad, calm down. Calm down. Nobody's shitting on you over here. I just need to go into Saturday feeling I have a chance, even though in the back of my mind, I know that I have a chance, but I just can't lose. We can't lose to the Packers, man. Not like this. Not like this. Anybody else? Perfectly fine with the loss. Perfectly fine. I agree, Haddock. I mean, it should be, but that defense is Swiss cheese. We'll see what Kyler Gordon brings back. CJ Gardner-Johnson's out.
What's your don't roll your eyes either. Like, I saw you roll your eyes, which I thought was crazy because your eyes are barely open. So for you to be able to roll them, I thought was unbelievable.
Yeah, Chad, we would never top that against you, buddy. You're one of our favorite people.
Chad, you're my favorite person on this podcast.
This is why you'll never break out 80 and you will be in golf poverty for the rest of your life.
I can't believe
I don't know if I'd even call him a fan. He's not really a fan. He's what we call a paper fan.
Yeah.
Like he's a paper friend. He's a fan on paper.
He's what does that even mean? I'm a paper fan.
You're a
You
fan
said
on
it
paper.
last night. You're a paper fan.
Well,
That means that you're not going to put any of your hard-earned money to go buy tickets or things of that nature, or hard-earned money to drive 30 minutes to go watch a game.
Yeah, I don't want to go to the stadium to watch a game.
Yeah, you're a paper fan.
Why is that an issue, though?
You won't even buy the ticket to make sure that you can see all your TV games.
Man, Saratoga guys were rich. Got rich water.
You can't hide money.
It's still the same bottle.
You just keep refilling.
He's refilling it with tap
It's
water.
so wild, dude. Like this guy just turns the faucet on and fills up the Saratoga bottle. Like, just buy a water bottle. You know,
Gotta keep up images, bro. Gotta keep up the image.
I got a little water purifier in the fridge.
Like Jeff said yesterday, money ain't real.
Yeah, money's fake, bro.
Oh,
It's fake.
Money ain't real.
Yeah, they'll always let you borrow more of it forever.
Yeah,
it just depends on the terms of what you want to borrow it at.
Says the guy from the federal government. Jeremy, any errors, omissions? How are you feeling about this game Saturday night, Jeffrey? Let's end it with a little Bears talk here, and then we're going to call it a day and get into the business.
Not gonna lie, I'm terrified of the game. Plain and simple, it's the third game we're playing in the same season. It's our biggest rival. It's only the third time we've ever played them in the playoffs, and yeah, it's we haven't beaten them since 1941 in the playoffs. So, kind of terrifies me.
Chad, you have no idea.
Chad, you really don't. It would be epic. It would be a story probably to your grandkids,
brother.
Yeah.
You don't even know. I mean, last
So
night
how many times have we played them in the playoffs?
Just 3 times.
What's your record against the Packers in the past 15 games?
Jeff, blow it out your ass. Okay.
It's not good.
So we played them 3 times in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And
yes.
If we beat them once.
Yes.
They beat us twice.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's even the series, bro. 2-2. 2-2. This is just a big game. Big game. Booker's got to get involved. Austin Booker's got to get involved. Montez Sweat, Jervon Dixter has to get in there and Rex. You got to get pressure on this quarterback, man. That's been our Achilles heel. I feel like the Bears are literally one elite pass rusher away from Super Bowl contention. And I will stick with that. If you put Max Crosby on that team next year, I guarantee they will have the top 5 odds to win the Super Bowl. But with that being said, we don't have it.
We didn't even touch on this either. What do you think the best opening for head coaches is right now in the NFL? There's what, 8 openings right now? Really?
Yes.
I completely disagree.
Well, you would.
No. Can I tell you why?
Sure. You tell me which team is better first.
Question marks at quarterback. All right. You don't know who the starter is going to next year. You don't have a first-round draft pick. You're already over the salary cap.
Like as you already said, salary caps are a figment of our imagination. They will click some buttons and they will get around it. I might say Baltimore, Chad, but I don't know what the real reason is here. Lamar Jackson posted some cryptic messages on his Instagram after Harbaugh was out. I don't know.
I think it was terrible. I think they fired Harbaugh, by the way. Hold on.
Let's get back to this real quick. I want to tell you why Atlanta is. Arthur has been notably will pay money to get a good team. He will pay the money. They've drafted well. They have Bijan Robinson. They have Kyle Pitts who started to emerge. You have Drake London. You have the assets. The O-line has been good. The defense has been picking up. And the guy wants to win before he dies. So kind of like we're talking about Phil Knight, the dude's going to go all in. He's going to give you everything that you need. And I have never heard anybody say that Arthur Blank is a bad owner. I've never heard anybody say Arthur Blank did this or Arthur Blank did that. I just feel like Atlanta is poised. I feel like, to me, Raheem Morris shouldn't have been fired either. How do you get fired when you win your last 4 games, especially with the debacle that they had with Michael Penix Jr.? to your point, there is a quarterback controversy there, but you did have Kirk Cousins, and I've said it before. Arguably, Kirk Cousins was better on that team than Michael Penix Jr. You could say, well, the first 4 games, yeah, but look at all the quarterbacks across the league for the first 4 games. This is the preseason. The first 4 games are their preseason. They don't play any preseason games. It usually takes 4 to 5 games for these guys to get it in synergy. It's just the way it is. They made the change after that. I think Kirk Cousins is once he got into the groove, once he got back into the normal reps, he serviceable. I mean, you can say at times he hit some amazing throws, but he's also going to throw some bad throws. I just feel like the Atlanta Falcons, and let's also say this: the NFC South is a winnable division. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say that it's not like there's one juggernaut of a team like an AFC or like, the NFC West or even, the AFC North or whatever. There's not like not East. There's no juggernaut, right? Like kind of what we talked about, the NFC East. All right. So you have the Philadelphia Eagles that are the juggernaut, right? There's one in that division. So therefore, that's why I would say, to your point, I feel like all of those teams are kind of relatively equal. I would have said the Bucs were above them. We could talk about that opening as well, but that's why I feel like the Atlanta Falcons is probably one of the better. And I just don't know what happened out of Baltimore. Like I said, obviously Lamar wanted him gone. I don't know.
Yeah, the Bucs thing. I don't know how appealing that's going to be to people when you obviously have a lame duck coach who, if he doesn't perform, he's fired. And then you're where? Like, do you want to go be a 1-year rental somewhere? Also, it's really weird to me that the Falcons fired Raheem Morris, but they kept their DC. Like somebody requested to talk to Ulbrich or Ulrich, the guy who's the intern for the Jets, was their DC this year. Somebody requested to talk to him, to interview him, and the Falcons said no. And I'm like, how are you keeping your DC and firing your head coach? Just doesn't really make a ton of sense to me, unless you're going to name him the head coach. That's the only way I could see that working. What I was going to say is, if I was Baltimore and I had to choose between Lamar Jackson and John Harbaugh, I would have chosen John Harbaugh, for the simple fact that we've seen Harbaugh win championships without Lamar before Lamar got there. He hasn't been great. They've been very consistent. They've been good with Lamar, but they've never gotten over that hump. For somebody who's gotten over the hump before with Harbaugh, I would pin that on Lamar. And especially when you're considering having continuity through your organization for 20 years, as opposed to Lamar has maybe 2 or 3 years left. We saw him take a step back this year. He doesn't have that same burst. He doesn't have that same first step getting out of the pocket. How much longer is he going to be able to be a mobile quarterback in the NFL? They were better with Huntley. Regardless of what you want to say, they were better with Tyler Huntley. So I just, to me, I think teams do this too often. I'd rather just keep continuity on my football team and through my
I think also, though, when you look at it, we're talking about 18 years with one team. 18 years, one Super Bowl. I mean, 18 years, and we're talking about, being one of the top coaches, staffs, one of the most feared defenses for quite a while. And like when you look at their offense, you bring in Derrick Henry. Like, to me, a lot of those coaching were questionable. So that makes me even go back and think, did they not run the ball with Derrick Henry because Lamar's telling him that he wants to run a certain type of offense and he wants to throw? Is that why they didn't run the Derrick Henry? Like, it's a lot of different questions. I don't understand it. I said the same thing for, when I first found out, when I was with you, if I was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'm reaching out to Harbaugh. I'm going to give him everything he wants, and I'm going to clean house or whatever and try to get him in there, because at the end of the day, you got a coach for the next 10 years. And believe it or not, it means something for players, to organizations, to have that stability. It's kind of like the thing when the Philadelphia Eagles were finally like, hey, we're going to move on from Andy Reid. Everybody wanted him.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same thing.
I think Harbaugh is going to end up in Miami. I think Harbaugh's going to end up in Miami. I guess him, the Harbaughs and Stephen Ross have a really good relationship. And the thing, a lot of people were talking about the Giants, but the thing with Harbaugh is that he doesn't want to go and be under Schoen, who might be a lame duck GM as well too. So he wants to bring in his own regime wherever he goes, and I think Miami's going to allow him the path to be able to do that. And listen.
They already fired Chris Greer earlier in the season, so yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna have your be able to pick your GM. You're gonna kind of pick your spot. You get to be in Miami. You get to keep more of your money. You get to hopefully not have property taxes pretty soon.
That's why I thought Tampa would be a great job for him. No property. No state income. It's beautiful weather all year round. You know, you're not living in Baltimore. First of all, you're not living in Baltimore.
If any of you have not been to Tampa or to the west coast of Florida, do it once in your life, at least. It is
I prefer the West Coast.
Indian Rocks Beach.
It is the most unbelievable, crystal clear blue water, unbelievable restaurants, great food scene. Awesome. Highly recommend. I can't believe as well, too. I just got this notification. The Grizzlies are going to trade Ja Morant. Like, we just saw Trae Young get moved 2 days ago to the Wizards, which I thought it was a good trade for Washington, honestly. You give up McCollum and Kispert, you get back Young. Don't give up any picks. They got a good young core as well, too. I could see that being a really good trade for them. But now Ja Morant, like, where's Ja going to go? Who wants Ja Morant?
Nobody. Which is sad. He's a great talent.
Such an unbelievable player. We lose these things so quickly. So
it's just, the life, man. The life. Speaking of the life, that thing has to get returned. That one is headed over to Marcus Buffington.
Congrats to Buff, man. You know, a true grinder in the fantasy world.
What's crazy? Go ahead.
What? I was going to say a guy who is in it in every fantasy league that he ever plays in. Might be the best fantasy player that I've ever known. You're a good man, Chad.
Finish the thought before the comment.
Well, the Jameis Winston thing, he knows how to hit the strings, brother. He knows how to hit your boy right in his fields.
Jeffrey, where did you say you wanted Jameis to go last night?
Where did I say I wanted Jameis to go last night? Anywhere. I mean, wherever. Who cares? Any team that'll give him a chance, he should go to. I just shout out to Buff, man. Shout out to Buff. Like true fantasy guy. It
is wild though.
Takes care of his cats.
It is wild though.
Is on the waiver wire all the time. You can never sleep on the guy. He's just a true grinder in every sense. And I don't have it in me anymore to be that guy. So shout out to Buff for being that guy.
I feel like I was so validated by my fantasy team because obviously I went through some serious injuries, right? Lost Joe Burrow for the season, but to put up the highest scoring points the last 2 weeks. If I would have had the bye, I would have repeated. But
Silver Linings playbook.
That's the way it goes. And that's what happened to Buff last year, just a freak little thing.
Yeah.
All right, boys. This is the last broadcast before the big game. I need everybody to put all of your good juju. Your bets can be separate. Keep your good juju in Chicago.
Let's go, Packers.
I could care less if we lose the next game. Just give me this one so I can ride out and feel like it was a good season. I do not need to get kicked in the nuts Saturday night on my wife's birthday and be in an absolute shit mood. And shout out to my wife.
Twice, bro. Crazy.
Shout out to the wife. It's her birthday. She had a lot. My wife loves to travel. She had this whole thing planned where we're going to Tampa, rooftop bar, the whole nice dinner. And then the schedule dropped. And like the trooper that she is, she said, well, I guess we're not going there then, huh? And I said, I love you. You can go wherever you want for our anniversary. How about that? So
are you going to go? Are you going to watch the Patriots game with her?
We'll probably be at the house. Yeah. I get a little worked up, not necessarily for her, but you know how I am. I shouldn't be in public during Bears games. She offered, I guess there's a big Bears bar in St. Pete. Big Bears bar. She's like, well, we can go down there to watch the game. I go, it's bad enough for me being out in public, but if I'm with a bunch of people I don't even know, I think I'll just stay at home and, have my self-medication and hopefully not have a coronary. I appreciate all the love and support that you've been giving the Bears this year, Jeffrey.
I've just tried to be the voice of reason, and I've always been here to raise you up. You know,
It's definitely your second team now, as the Bucks were once my second team. There's still
You've announced the Bucks though pretty aggressively.
Once they release Kyle Trask
and charge $5 for a cheese cup for a pretzel. Yeah, that's going to do it for us today on the Uninformed Fan. If you happen to be traveling over this weekend, please, for the love of God, stay out of the lane. If your team is playing this week, good luck. May all your bets cash unless you bet against the Bears. Bear down.
be great.
Bear down.